Yeah, good day. This is George from Present Day Solutions, and you are welcome once again to our weekly Excel tutorials for absolute beginners. So far, we've learned how to enter data in Excel, how to create simple formulas, and how to create 3D formulas in Microsoft Excel. Today, we'll be walking through how to format fonts in Excel. So you get to know the various fonts in Excel, the font styles, the font sizes, how to underline, how to use the double underline, and how to use the accounting underline. We also get to know the font colors, how to use them, and the various font effects such as the strike through and then the superscript and subscript. So today we will be using the home tab, and the fonts are within the font groups. So in Microsoft Excel, on top here is called the ribbon, where the file, the home, insert, page layout, formulas they are all tabs within the ribbon. And within each ribbon there are groups. Like so for the home tab, for instance, we have the clipboard group, the font group, the alignment group, the number group, and those tabs, the editing group. So today we will be concentrating much on the font group, and we have this data here which doesn't look good, so we'll be using the formatting styles to format this work, but then we'll be concentrating much on the fonts. So there's an income statement for a company for the year ended 31st December 2018, and this is the name of the company, Present Day IT Solutions. And the default, so let's begin with the font. The default font for Microsoft Excel from 2013, 2016, 2019 is the Calibri. So when we want to change the font, within the home tab and the font group, there is this drop down list which contains all the various fonts that came with the app. So there is a preview as and when you select any of them. So you choose a font depending on your industry requirement or how you want it to look like. So for me, I like the Tahoma. So let me just type it here, click the enter key, and the font now changes from Calibri to Tahoma. Let me change this one also to Tahoma. Enter. And so that's it with the font. So you just select the cell which contains the item you want to change, or you want to change the font name. So when you want to change the font name for the sales, you just click in that particular cell, click on the drop down list. That's if you don't know the name, and choose a particular font which is okay for you. Yeah, Ctrl Z to undo. So we are going to the font size. For the font size, next to the font is the font size. So if we want to increase the size of the text within a particular cell, so in cell B1 we have the present day solutions, as you can see in the formula bar, and we want to increase the size of the text. So there is a preview also as and when you scroll. So I think 36 is okay for this, and let's change this one to somewhere 12. So basically, when you want to change the font, you select the cell which contains the item, come into the font group and select a particular font which suits best. And for the font size too, you do same. Yeah. Also, next to the font size, there is this small icon, a capital A with an arrow showing up and another A with an arrow showing down. So you can increase the font or decrease the font with these two. So the font size for this is currently 36. We can reduce the font size with this by just clicking on this. It will be decreasing, and when we want to increase it, we will just click on this and it will be increasing. This is too much. Yeah, that's okay. So that's it with the font name and then the font sizes. Let me go by the local Calibri. Right, yeah. Beneath that is the bold, the italic, the underline, and there is a drop down list here which gives us the double accounting, the double underline, which is the accounting underline, like the 220. When you want to underline it twice, yeah, click here and then a double underline will be done. So if you want to bolden the present day solutions, we click on the B or the shortcut, which is Control B. When you want to italize this, Control I, or we just click on this. Yeah, we did the double underline with this, and we can do the one underline, the single underline with this. Yeah, let's underline this. So that's basically it. To change the font name, you select that particular cell or the range of cells, come into the font group, and then change it from this drop down list. You can increase it with this drop down list too, or use these shortcuts, the A and then the A with an arrow showing up, and there is a tooltip which reads in font size increase. This makes your text bigger, and this reduces it. This makes the text bold. This makes it italic. As you saw previously, this was straight, but then when you italic it slides. Yeah, and this is used for the underlining, and the double accounting is within here. Okay, so for instance, when you want to give a particular attention to the dates, the months, the various months, and then the titles over there, you increase the size to somewhere like 14, make them bold, and come here, select those various cells, bold, yes, and that's it. Okay, so we are done with the font names, the font sizes, the bold, italic, underline, and then the double underline. So let's go with the border shapes, with the borders. So when we want to give a particular attention to a particular cell, we can apply a border, a thick one. Like there are various types to choose from, so you select the one which suits what you want to do. So we want to give a particular attention to the profit we made in March, which was 140. So we've added a border to all the sides. We can either choose the bottom, the top, the left. There are various options to choose from. And if you don't want anything, you can then come back, click on the drop down list, and then click on no border, and the border will be gone. Same applies to the bold, italic, and then the underline, and then the double underline. After doing it, when you don't need it anymore, you just select it once again and then click on the same thing. Like if you bolden it, you click on it once, it will be bolden. The next one will take the bold effect out from there. Yeah, okay. And so for instance, from cells B1 to M1, we want to give the background a color. So we can fill the background with a particular color, any color of your choice. So let's go with a blue. So you select the particular cell, go to the fill color, the drop down list, choose a particular color that you want. So if it's this range you want to fill, select all the range, click on the fill. That's if the color you want is the one which is selected now. And maybe for this accounting purpose, maybe we made a loss, or January was the least sales, and we want to give a particular attention to this particular profit. So we want to change the font color to red. So you select that particular cell. The A with this is called the font color. So you select the drop down list and then choose any color you want to choose. And the color will be applied. I think this has not affected much. That's okay. So we are done with the font, the sizes, how to bold, italicize, double underline, how to use the borders, how to fill, how to change the font color. And there is this drop down list. And this drop down list is similar to what's in the font group. But then there are some features which are not featured here. So there are some hidden features. Just like when you want to write something like the formula for water, which is H2O. Now let me use the caps, H2O. When you enter something like this, Excel automatically doesn't send the 2 downwards. Like if you want the 2 to be a subscript, just like this, Excel doesn't do that automatically, but then you have to format that particular text. So to do this, you select the 2, like the particular item you want to format, and then either come to the dialog box launcher here, click on that. We want it to come down, so subscript, and then click on OK, and it will be done for you. If you want it up, H raised to the power 2O, we can do that too. So it's either we use the dialog box launcher, or we right click on the format cells, and then the launcher appears. So we don't want the subscript, but then we want the superscript. So we select that and then click on the OK. This was a mistake we made. We selected everything in the cell and then we've sent it up. That's not what we want. So Control Z. Another Control Z. Now let me write it here again. Now, let me use the E equals MC2. But then we want the 2 upwards. C2. That's a scientific formula. I don't know. So you select, double click inside, select the 2, right click, format cells, and then you have the superscript here. You click on OK. Yeah, that's how to get those features which are not featured here in the font groups, but then they are all within the fonts. There are various effects within the fonts, and when we want to strike through an item, maybe this profit, we want to cross it, like so. With a profit, you right click, launch, and then we have this effect here. That's the strike through. We'll click on it. It gives you a preview of how it would look like, and then you click on the OK. That's it. So we are done with the fonts, the sizes, how to increase and decrease it. bold, italic, underline, double underline, how to use the borders, how to fill, how to change the font colors, how to strike through, use the superscript and then the subscripts. So we are done for today. If you have any question or any comments or suggestions, you can leave them in the comment box or send them privately to me. Thank you very much for your attention.